Hello and welcome back to Gamers Remorse. Today we're taking a look at the game Trade Fleet, which will be kickstarted here shortly.
In Trade Fleet, 2 to 5 players take on the roles of ship captains during the golden age of sailing. Players start the game by being dealt 5 cards, while the remaining cards are placed in a draw pile in front of them. Players proceed in turn order, taking one of 4 actions: playing a port, redeeming goods at a port, playing a happening card, or discarding cards to draw new cards. At the end of their turn, players will draw back up to 5 cards. When redeeming goods in port, players will collect 1 card from the discard pile for each gold acquired and place them face down in front of themselves. Some happening cards can even be played on other players' turns, impacting what they can do, including escort and dock fees. Play continues until the draw pile is empty and players are unable to play. It is then tallied how much gold each player has, and whoever has the most gold wins.
Since the game doesn't say who goes first, we decided to do it Gamers Remorse style. And this time we're going to Who Best Can Talk Like a Pirate.
I think Brian wins that.
Brian.
Yar, shiver me timbers, or ye be walking the plank and swimming with the sharks. If ye don't be careful, I be hitting your head with my thing of rum and ye be drowning in the sea.
Arr, shiver me timbers! Do you have the scurvy like my waterman?
Eric?
I'm gonna let you guys find out. I've got 13 torrents. Oh.
Nice, wrong pirate.
Right.
I think Brian wins.
I think Brian wins.
Alright, Brian wins. Alright, I'm gonna start by discarding 3 cards. Yeah, I'm gonna put the discard pile right here so it's easier for everyone. And that is my turn.
I am going to put Curacao out there and draw 1.
Curacao.
Panama.
I do not look like a cow.
I'm just gonna discard 2.
Discard Dose.
That's hard to see with one eye. I have good depth perception with one eye.
Thank you.
Welcome to my life.
I worked long and hard on it.
Guadalupe.
I don't know about that. I'm gonna cash in Curacao with 1 rum and 1 silk, which gets me 3 whole gold pieces. Ching-ching!
I am gonna play some taxation. Everyone give me 1 gold.
I'm gonna escort that.
I'm gonna escort your escort.
I'll escort that one.
What?
We don't want to pay our gold,
We just played
Brian.
3 escorts on 1 turn. And I got nothing out of
I'm
it.
gonna acquiesce your request.
About those TPS reports.
Be a jerk to Sean, I guess.
Sean, let's start 2 goods.
That ends it.
Eric
gets 2, yeah.
Yep.
All right, it's time we review on the Gamer's Remorse. This time I'm going to start out, if that's all right with you guys. Overall, I'd say it's a good game. It's a great filler game. It's very thematic of, seas and pirates and trading goods and whatnot. It was fun. I liked it. Probably not my favorite filler game, but it was pretty good. I mean, I think it's a good one to buy and just have around in the event you're looking to kill 15 minutes, something like that. I like that it was very fast, extremely fast paced, and I enjoyed the novel mechanic of using the cards themselves as gold pieces. I thought that was pretty ingenuitive, and I enjoyed that. So I'm just gonna go through my rubric real quick. Quality of components, that's on a range of 0 to 2. I'm gonna give it a 1. The artwork was nice, but nothing to write home about. I mean, it worked, it worked for what it needed to. I very much felt like, it was all sea shanty-like and whatnot, and even the happenings cards were kind of fun because they were very thematic to it. Good balance of skill to luck. I gave that a 0.5 just because sometimes you couldn't get a port, if your life depended on it. Other times, all you had was ports, and that was extremely frustrating. But I don't know if there would be a good way to change that. Maybe have it so you could buy a port by discarding so many cards, or if you had all ports, you could trade it in for an entirely new hand for free. Something like that. Analysis paralysis, I'd say no. For the most part, it moved very fast, and that was one thing I really liked about this game. So I gave that a 1. Theme, I gave it 1.5. That's on a range of 0 to 2. Reason for that is the cards were very thematic themselves. We were trading cocoa and rum and, all of those things that I would perceive that's what they were trading back then. It seemed very Caribbean-like, with all the places, Veracruz and Guadalupe and whatever else. Thrill versus competitive, I gave that a 1 just because I couldn't really tell score. I didn't know who was leading at the end of the game, I could kind of tell based upon who was taking cards, but I honestly thought Ben was going to take this away, and then Ben tied with me. So I guess the thrill wasn't there for that. However, I did enjoy the happenings cards where you could just, stick it to your neighbor, so to speak, So, thrill versus competitive, gave that a 1. And was it fun? I gave it 1.5 because I did enjoy it. I would play it again, probably more than twice in an evening would be pushing it, but it's a filler game. So that's exactly what I would expect from a filler game. I gave it 6.5. So,
awesome.
What do you think, Brian?
I thought it was a pretty good game. Like Sean just mentioned, it's a filler game, so you don't expect the same that you'd expect from a big box game night purpose game. And so I was able to look at it, in that light and give it some interesting ideas that I liked with that I didn't. As far as the visuals, out of 2, I'm going to give it a 1. I liked the card design. I thought whoever designed the layout, the backs are really cool. I like that. I like that the happening cards have squares, the good cards have ovals, and the ports have kind of the washed out globe in the background. So you can easily determine what the cards are. But the artwork, not so much. It looks like they just took images and did a little filter on it. And I would like more. Some custom artwork would be fantastic, or if they went and did some of their own photography or something so that it wasn't just a filter over an image. Laid inside of a placeholder box. And then skill luck, I'm gonna give that 0.5 out of 1. Like Sean mentioned, there's a bit of both. As you're drawing the cards, it's just luck of what's in your hand. Arguably, you could draw the entire game without drawing a port. That's a possibility. And so you can't win. You could also go a whole game drawing only happening cards, and just the way things work, that's the one downside. But there is skill in when do you play things, when do you hold on to them, when do you switch a port. Pacing, I'm gonna give that a 1.5 out of 2. The pacing, it went fairly fast, but I do know players who think too much on their turns were they to play this game. I like that the game has the built-in timer of when the deck runs out, you don't reshuffle it, you just play until no one can play, and that's end game. I think that's really cool. Theme and immersion, I'm gonna give it 1.5 out of 2 because I get to wear a pirate hat. But really, it is kind of cool. You see these ports, and you're sitting here going, okay, what port do I want to go to? I'm going to go to this port. I'm going to make these trades in that port. The happening cards really played into the theme, and I just thought that worked really well. Mechanics, I'm going to give that 0.5 out of 1. There aren't really any novel mechanics, so to speak, in here. other than, like Sean mentioned, using the cards as the gold, which I think is really cool. It cuts down on components and it makes it really easy to calculate at the end of the game. And then fun, was it fun? Definitely, I enjoyed it. 1.5 out of 2. I mean, I would definitely use this as a filler game between heavy games, or even a game while I'm waiting for other people to arrive for game night. And that brings my total to 6.5.
Nice.
Eric, what are your thoughts?
It was easy to play. It was fun. With the way I like things, there was just a couple things that I would have done different. Just didn't enjoy as much. The whole one action per turn. Like afterwards, I looked at the rules. I wasn't actually clarified on some of the cards, so I don't think I actually played a couple of cards correctly. And so like I wasn't quite clear on when to play certain cards, and some of the cards, the happenings were just like. Though you could only play one per turn, I just didn't. It was kind of, do I do this or do I do that? But I don't know. But I guess that kind of adds to the speed of the game, which is good. But overall, I enjoyed it. Probably give it about a 6.
Okay, nice. Ben, how about you?
I'd say it was all right. It was a pretty fun game, pretty fast paced. Maybe a little too fast paced for me. You got to do stuff really quick on your turn within a matter of seconds, but that was all right. For someone who doesn't play a lot of games, it was easy to understand, easy to not have to learn the rules, and so I enjoyed that. Some of the cards were a little bit silly, but that's all right. It was just a quick, fun, fast game. Like Eric said, I kind of wish you would add can do more than one action on each turn. Get more points. So I'd say 6 out of 10 for me.
6, 6.5, 6.5.
Yep, 6.25.
All right. Well, thank you guys. Comments or questions, write them below.
May the winds be ever in your favor.
Yar. Fast forward this fun part.
I'm smoldering into the camera.
I have to.
I mean, smoldering is not look.
Oh,
Holy
I'm smoldering as this jacket is freaking hot.